G'day and welcome back to 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. Today's album is In Our Heads by Hot Chip, which was released in 2012. Surprisingly, I actually do know Hot Chip. They were received quite well in Australia. This album charted well, in the UK, US, and in Australia. Although it was an alternative release, it wasn't really played. Their singles weren't played on mainstream radio. If you don't know them, they're a synth pop group from London. This is their fifth studio album. Hot Chip consists of 5 members: Alex Taylor, Joe Goddard, Owen Clark, Al Doyle, and Felix Martin, who are all considered to be multi-instrumentalists. I guess you'd consider Alex to be the lead vocalist, although Joe Goddard does a lot of the underlying, seemingly lead vocals as well. And Al Doyle is credited as doing backing vocals. Okay, so let's kick it off and get into Motion Sickness. And I'm sure you notice already the diversity is a lot of really good sounds in there. And a lot of those sounds, it sounds like trumpets, but I'm pretty sure they're synthesizers. And I should just sort of start out, I don't know if you have a preconception about what synthesizers, a lot of people think that it's just an easy way of making music or it's a cheat's way or something, but it's an incredibly complicated instrument. It requires a lot of programming. It's merely controlled by a keyboard. It's not a keyboard. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to point out is that the drums, from what I can tell listening to that, they sound like real drums. There's a whole lot of percussion which is electronic, but those drums are actually real drums. Here's another thing I've got to point out about this band that you'll hear me say a lot as we go through this, is the songs are actually a lot more complicated than you're probably going to give them credit for. Like, if you just, we're 1 minute in already, if you tried to predict how that song was going to go, you wouldn't have guessed it. So I don't know if you can hearing that dun, dun, dun in the background. It seems that's that chord progression, how that goes dun, 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 dun. That's a set chord progression, but then it changes weirdly in a really weird spot. It's very hard. Because I played along with a few of these on the acoustic guitar, just the second time I was listening to it, I couldn't figure out, because I think once I figured the chord progression out, it would change. So, and they're mixing it up quite well. There's all this other stuff happening in the background. Now it's, again, the song has changed Now, the next song is How Do You Do? This was one of the singles they released that I remember in Australia. Apparently, worldwide, it did pretty good. It was 12 years ago now. Let's get into it. So if you don't have a decent headset or a decent sound system, there's probably a lot you're missing there. Right in that bit, first of all, there's two vocals. It's like a harmony, the low vocal and a high one. It's a very full-sounding vocal. If you listen to it on your iPhone speakers, you won't hear that. There's also this really nice synth bit over the top in between the vocals as well. It's very faint, but I can hear it with these on.
When you wake me in the morning, that is my favorite thing. My body is so warming as it strikes a chord upon my skin. Now you sing in the evening with a voice that's bouncing like a spring. My heart is not for breaking.
This always happens to me when I'm sitting here just analysing the song rather than sitting and enjoying it. The drums or the percussion are incredibly complicated. There's a lot of all these other things happening, and together they make a lovely drum beat.
Beating out all the life it needs to begin. It's for beating out all the life it needs to begin. Have we taken all we're good for? Have we registered our love in vain? A church is not for praying, it's for celebrating the light that bleeds through the pain. It's for celebrating the light that shines through the pain. It's for celebrating the light that bleeds through the pain.
It's a good song. It is a good song. I don't know whether it, because I know it well from, it was on the radio a lot on Triple J back in Australia. I found it quite catchy. And just listening to it now, there's elements of the song I didn't even notice before. And it escalates and it doesn't stay the same. I like that. So let's get into Don't Deny Your Heart.
Well, you thought you could not go on.
Well, that they've done the bass. There's not a bass guitar, but the bass synth that they're doing there, they've played it in a really funky way, which normally you wouldn't do on a synth bass. Normally you'd use a real bass for that.
Your bones are just beating like drums at your funeral song. And your heart has been gone too long. It's pushed.
And I don't know if you can hear this, down, those again with those chords that they're doing. And if you try to hum along to it and try to remember how it goes in your head, as soon as you remember it, they'll change it.
For a drum that will beat it from right to wrong. Don't you know that it's hard? Said it's hard.
And that's nice as well. You've got the lead vocal, Alex, he sings up high, but you've got this lovely low, deep vocal right underneath it.
When you feel this burn,
And those drums, that sounds like a person playing drums, maybe electronic drums though, by the way that the tone of it and everything sounds like electronic drums, but it sounds like it's not programmed. It sounds like it's someone actually playing them. The way the groove of it, like the, if you listen to it, you'll see what I mean. And its song sounds so funky. Yeah. I've got to drag myself away from this video. Will get way too long, but I'm sure you can see that's absolutely worth listening to.
From the deep silence of my mind, there's something I'm trying to find. When it speaks, you know you will hear my name. Not so complex in design, but harder to mind as I step in vain. Won't you come down to my arms? There's something I'm ready to say. Would you call my name?
Well, how tasteful is that guitar? Like, it could be John Frusciante or John Mayer, the way that is played. And I can't even really tell from the credits who plays it. Like, they credit Owen and Al as being guitarists, but there's nowhere that I can find that credits who of them played that. That's really quite good.
Look at where we are, remember where we started.
And this now, you got double tracked vocals, you've got headphones on, it just sounds really big.
Never gonna be without each other's love again. Look at where we are. I need your name. Look at where we are, remember where we started out. Never gonna be without each other's love again. Look at where we are. I need your name. Oh,
And that sounds like a real bass being played there. And a nice, like, I think that's a synth solo coming in there. That sounds really cool, I think. I know I say that a lot, but it is. Wow, the bass synth in this sounds really nice. It do so deep. I like the way his vocals. I'm pretty sure that's Joe, that's the one who sings those sort of low bits. It sounds really nice.
My love is right for you. I know it is my boo. I save my eyes for you. I save my sight for you. I save my ears for you. Do you hear me, my boo?
And see, even these electronic bands that they have a lot of sounds playing and stuff. They know that the idea of less is more. There's not a heap happening, but what is happening is important, and it makes the song really great.
These chains, you bound around my heart, complete me.
And same the vocals now. You've got the deep, lovely main vocal, but then this really high backing vocal or harmony.
Baby, I would not be free
And you got this real funky guitar through that, which is a bit hard to hear, but ding, 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 like that.
The bond around my heart is not changed since we first made our start. Explain the bond around my heart. It's not changed since we first made our.
So you can see those two vocalists, Alex and Joe, work off each other so well, because the most of that song has been Joe so far, and then now Alex has come in singing more of a higher bit. Such a good compliment. We'll move on. Night and Day. Good luck playing that. Try to play that on guitar or something. That do 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 do. It sounds like he's just someone fumbling around, but it plays exactly the same every time. It's like you've got a steady drum beat, but that is such an odd signature, the way that that's played. Interesting vocals happening there. You've got the main, and then there's some, I can hear it in the, like some odd sort of backing vocals, but it sounds really good.
There's just one thing that I can do to make me feel alright. The way I feel about you, darling, in the middle of the day.
And that keyboard, what is that? It sounds like a toy or something. Do, 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 do.
Just one thing that we can do.
And when I say it sounds like a toy, it slightly sounds out of tune, which is so cool that they've gone and put this bizarre sound in there with all these instruments perfectly tuned, and they've put that.
Push the pain away. Let's sweat. 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 Let's sweat.
Okay, you know I think about you.
And again, with the weird sounds like that synth, is these odd chords, like Steely Dan chords. And it's weird, like, I don't know what they've done there. It's like they played it through a tape machine, because it sounds out of tune. It sounds like when you used to play something on a tape and the tape got caught, or your tape player slowed down or something. It's a really bizarre sound.
If I could.
Like, that is cool. Anyway, move on to flutes. I remember this song now. I don't know if you noticed that really deep sounding synth, and now this other synth comes in over the top of it. And if you listen to, I actually worked it out on the guitar, because I thought this sounds like what they call a third in music terms. You've got your main note, and then you've got a third, which is like part of either your major or minor chord. The third is the thing that makes it sound like a major or a minor chord. Without it, it's just like a basic fifth chord. What I'm hearing there, as I said, what I thought I was hearing, and what I confirmed when I played it on the guitar, by plucking the two notes individually, it's like a chord with the first and a third only, with no fifth or any of those other notes. So you got one synth playing the root note and the other one playing a third. And so those two together essentially are making a chord. But with two different instruments, with two different tune, like different sound. See if you can hear it. Help you out a little bit with what I'm talking about. So if you've got... That's one of them that you should listen for. But then the other one is like that. But then together you get... So I thought that was the easiest way to, rather than try to do it vocally, just to play it for you that way. See how this song's evolving. It had a really basic drum beat. Now it's starting to kick in and the drums are starting to come to life. Where, it's a 7-minute song and they're only nearly 3 minutes into it.
All this talk is getting me down.
That was really bizarre. I would have assumed all the vocals would be pitch corrected, but that bit there, he sounded like it wasn't at all. And that's not a criticism. I love it when there's no pitch correction. Anyway, it's a pretty in-depth song. There's a lot that goes on. I won't play it for you because I'm going to give you some incentive to go and listen to it for yourself. So we'll move on to Now There Is Nothing. That sounds very much like real drums and real bass.
Now there is nothing that I want. I spend my whole time in my thoughts.
This is a nice vocal. It's double tracked, so it's not harmonies. He's sung it twice, and it's a really full sounding thing.
Hoping to find my brother's love. Why did it leave us for above?
From what I remember, this is actually something John Lennon used to do, and was then later, much later, Nirvana did it because Butch Vig convinced Kurt to do it. What are they, Steely Dan chords? Jesus.
Dreaming my way through this house of yours. I picture you standing by the door, hoping to find your father's smile. Gone from the world, but not from mine.
That's a nice song. It sounds very Beatles-ish, actually, but not Beatles-ish. Interesting. Ends of the Earth. I think that's what you call a polyrhythm. You got the drum beat doing one thing, that it do, and then that thing you watch my hand, it's doing this other beat, but it's played on the synth and it's on dun 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 dun, and it's out of time. And that synth part, that I can't even figure out when that starts and stops. See, what I was doing now is I was counting the beats and the bars, and I was noticing that when I got to 3 was when the keyboard was coming in, to give you an idea. That's just unpredictable. I should correct myself. It's not unpredictable. It's just hard for someone like me who's not a studio musician, who's not used to playing odd time signatures.
You promised me the ends of the earth, but I don't want that. I just want you to feel the belief of a man. They say that love is drunk, but drunk don't let you fall. All I want is the you that pulls me back. You promised me the ends of the earth, but I don't want that.
See, do you see how that song had a really long intro before the vocals even kicked in, and then the drums have, after like one lot of vocals, I suppose you could call it, now it's changed. The drums have gotten a bit more active and there's a lot more happening now.
I just want you to feel the relief of a man. They say that love is drunk, but drunk don't get you far. All I want is the you that pulls me back.
And this is really so nice to listen to, by the way, look, especially on good headphones. I know I crap on about that if you've watched any of my other videos. These headphones are quite good, not particularly expensive. You can see them, but I thought I'd just show you the packet. They're not that expensive, and well, like, I can't explain to you, if you're not listening to it on decent headphones or even a decent sound system, I just can't express to you how full this sounds. I've got a confession to make as well. Today, I watched 2 of the music videos. Flutes was one of them. I was just listening to it on the MacBook. I was just like, didn't think much of it. But listening to it on the headphones, it was like, wow, there's so much more to these songs. You can really ruin a song by just not listening to it in a decent sound system of some sort. Anyway.
I can see
if you can hear that as well. Once again, you got the deep vocals and then the high vocals really tastefully mixed together. So now you've got high vocals coming in and still a higher vocal above that again. I'm sure you can see that's got a lot of depth to it as well. So we'll move on to the last song, Always Been Your Love.
I have always been your love. I have always been your love.
You know, I've been thinking.
When I think of all the places we have.
Okay, if you're wondering what this look on my face is, I'm just trying in my head to remember what that keyboard is doing. And it was do 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 do, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, it's like that. And then it went do do do, and just changes. I'm like, wow.
I don't know if I have been another thing in our heads. There's always been a dream of all we long to belong to. I don't know if I will be the same again. The same again.
So it's still doing it. If you're wondering why I make a big deal out of this, that's what you call chord progression. And all modern songs pretty much follow the same chord progression. So it doesn't matter what key it's in. You know, imagine an acoustic guitar. If you put a capo on it and, you play certain chords, move the capo down, and every song starts on the same chord and moves around in the same order. And they don't mix it up either. It's just the set chords, and that's how the song is. Maybe it'll change in the chorus somewhat. But modern songs are, in that respect, a lot of them are incredibly boring because they don't do what this is doing.
I have always been your love, handed down in open love letters. I have always been your love. Let us write ourselves and right now. I don't know if I can look away again. I don't know which way my gaze will fix to mend. In our heads, there's always been a dream of all we long to belong to. I don't know why you don't know my name, and I have to remind you. I have to remind you. I have always been your love, handed down in an open love letters. I have always been your love. Let us write ourselves in right now. I have always been.
Okay, I've got to pull myself away from this song. It's going to suck me into the end. Well, look, that song, I don't remember it going like that. I must have been not focusing when I was listening to this last song in particular. And I just was surprised how the drums just came in like that and the song just kept evolving. And look, all I'm thinking as I'm listening to this album is like, wow, these guys are really good songwriters in lyrically and the way that they're able to create these songs this way. And I'm just trying my best to convey it so that a lot of what a band like this does doesn't get missed or doesn't get sort of brushed to one side because they're a synth pop band. And I think there's a lot of misconception around synth and what skill is involved. If you watch a band live, I was around about when this album came out, actually, I saw Cut Copy live and they were the headline act. And I remember, I didn't listen to any of their stuff on the headphones. I knew a few of their songs. I'm like, whatever. I guess I'll hang around for the headline act and watch them at this festival. And they kicked my ass. Like, I couldn't believe how good they sounded. And they just made everyone else sound terrible. And I wasn't into and afterwards I was. I can hear the creativity and just, as I say, mixing up chord progressions, not making everything typical. I think that's a good album. I definitely think it deserves to be on the 1001 albums. And I don't know, hopefully I did a good enough job to get you to the end of this video, and if you haven't heard of Hot Chip and you've not heard this album or any of these songs, hopefully you've somewhat become a fan. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching. Say hi to your mum for me.